punched it up there yet, so I'll do that again. I think I need to have DB more of a structured, like I would when I do my classes. I basically go down the list and I talk through everything that we're doing. So in the case of, where is Win? Where are you? I'll show you, like here. This would be what I would be talking through. I don't know if everyone can see that well. I'm going to make it a little bigger. And you probably see my cursor here. Yeah, of course, figures. This is a Word document. So this is basically how we would walk our way through a set of blueprints. You start from here. I would make my way down, build a register, aka sheet index, and I'd be talking my way through this, and we'd be going back and forth to teach everyone how to utilize a set of prints and how to follow it through a, let's call it an Excel spreadsheet. And it helps you familiarize yourself with the set of blueprints logically, especially if you are a superintendent or an APM or something to that effect. So we make our way down this, and the organization that you would take on your way through, working your way through architectural, structural, mechanical, plumbing, landscape. All these things take into account are the big picture. There it goes. The big picture to read the project story from beginning to end. And I give you a basic breakdown on how to make your way from beginning to end to make sure everyone's understanding the same thing. One of the biggest things I try to explain to people is do not try and memorize your abbreviations and symbols. It will come to you over time. I'm a realtor broker from Century 21 years, and I'm a general contract resident. Very cool. Get your, does that say get your deal worth? Get your deal worth. Very cool. Nice to have you here. Confirm drawing specs. I'm a GC as well. Is this video? Will you be on too? Yes. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and plug this in on YouTube as well. I'm also going to be simulcasting on both TikTok and YouTube in the coming weeks, and I will be setting that up, and I'll make a notification on my page. So we'll be doing that weekly. Plus, like I said, there's a private classes as well. Plus, there's a self-paced module that you can do at your own pace. Is that downloadable somewhere? This, what's in my hand? No, I have not. This is part of my class, but what I'll do is if people really want it, I can share at least the framework for it on my website, and I'll do it as a downloadable, so you can grab it, download it, and use it to your benefit, which I think is great. I've got a book on there now for project managers or anyone who's interested. Don't hesitate. It's on Amazon. It's for $17.98, but it's free here. Just download it. It's yours. Indianapolis, or still learning, you're knowledgeable. I think I'm knowledgeable. I mean, I've had enough years to basically consider myself somewhat knowledgeable, but I'm always learning. There's always something else you can learn, so it's cool. I'm enjoying it as well. We talk about the structural path and making your way through structural. Talk about making your way through the MEPs, low voltage. For those who don't know, MEP stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. We also talk about the fire and low voltage. Then we'll talk about a pass. When I say a pass, it's basically we're looking at the prints, we're passing through that and making sure. So site, civil pass, we go through existing conditions, what the demolition, if there's any demolition. There usually is some type of grading, utilities, and that's site work. Cross-referencing. So that's a really important part of understanding prints, and we can do it here. I don't have a lot of time left, but what I would do is I would then look at, let's jump over, let's go back. We'll close that out, open that up. So let's swing down here, take a look, see if I can. So this would be a, let's see, we're going to talk about partitions. So if anyone understands, there's difference in partitions, and those partitions make a big difference. If anyone does drywall, this is called a slip track or a runner. It's the top track and the bottom track of drywall, of a frame, metal frame. They're asking for this one here, so we can look at this in the symbols. This is a piece of drywall that's on the left-hand side. Sorry, you can't see my cursor. I keep forgetting. In the center of your screen, the vertical going up and down with the little particles in it, that would be considered drywall. the line that's showing below it where it says the ceiling, that's your finished ceiling. Now, if you notice, this drywall goes all the way to deck. And there it says at the very top, bottom of deck. So that's, now what a deck is the concrete or the ceiling of the floor above us. So that's why they would call that out. The slip track is in there. Rigid insulation is that hatch right here, where if you can read it, rigid insulation. And most likely what's next to it is going to be an insulation package as well. So if you look at the one that's got the line going back and forth, this one, that is an insulation. You'll have to look at the insulation schedule, whether it's a 4 or an 8 or 16, 30 in the ceilings, 18 on the exterior. So you could do anything you want here because you're most likely doing it for sound. So that's because the AOR has requested it. Now, if you look at the difference, we're looking at the one on the left, and now let's look at the one on the right. The one on the right is showing a semi-rigid insulation. So it's more like a foam board. And this is the exterior. Yeah. Line of structure, other structure. So that's that. And then braces. This is to make sure the wall stays strong. So these are what you'd call wall. I'm trying to think of the proper name for it. Different wall types. Sorry, couldn't come up with a name. And those different wall types show all the different walls that are in this space, making sure that you understand all of these. So let's head down. Probably want to get to an elevation. All right, we'll do a floor plan. Hey, if there's anyone out there that you know, well, here's your life safety. I don't know if he stayed, but here's the life safety. Cody, thank you. Get your Dilworth, appreciate it. So let's talk at life safety. This is what would be considered life safe. Got my GC license to dig in February. Do you both? Do you do both? I'm loving commercial. The money is there. Yes, 100%. I cut my teeth on the residential industry coming up out of, I went to college. A lot of my friends did not. If you can afford it, I'm just throwing this out there. If you can afford to go to college and get your degree, go do it. If you can't, go right into the trades. Go get an internship or go start working in the construction industry. I don't care where it is, MEP, as a carpenter, anywhere. I mean, if you're not sure what part of the world you want to be in, I'm telling you, that's, if construction is something you enjoy. If you don't, do what you enjoy. Don't do what you don't enjoy because you guys are too young to just start latching into something that is just not fun, believe me. But yes, getting your GC license is awesome. I have mine. I've had it for just about 30 years. So I personally enjoy commercial space much more than residential space. There is absolutely more money there. Unless you're doing high industry residential. I'm merging with Lennar and DH Horton as well now. Wow, 30 years. Yeah, old man. Which software is this? So I'm looking at, this is a basic PDF player we're looking at. I use Bluebeam. I use Procore. Revit I have used. So what you're looking at right now is not a software that would be used to design. It's more obviously for view. Is there an echo? Or are you just saying the echo? Getting my ARC Masters right now. Thoughts on communication between contractors and architects. So there's a guy I follow on TikTok. His name is Patrick Soares, and he's out of Miami. Thank you, no echo, appreciate it. And we've gone back and forth. I have a lot of friends, or had a lot of friends. You lose friends as you get older, just time. But I do have some friends in the industry that I talk to every once in a while. That is probably one of the biggest two that really need to work together. If you don't have a good symbiotic relationship with your architect for each project, you're going to have a lot of, Bluebeam, yes, Revu. Revit, I can't remember. I'm a new follower from Cameroon, happy to be here. Well, we're happy to have you here. Thank you, Movin. So it's one of those things where if you don't have the proper connections with that architect, perfect example. We have an issue with a wall. I can either call the architect, get on the phone with him or her, and say, well, in this case, her, Katie, hey, this is the problem we've got. We've got a major issue, this, that, and the other. She'll say, you know what, I get it. Do me a favor, throw an RFI out there. For those of you who don't know, RFI is request for information. You're looking, I had AutoCAD, and AutoCAD to me was the greatest thing in the world, but it became very expensive. And it was one of those things that I said, since I'm not designing any longer, it made it easier just to not have it. But I love AutoCAD, especially if you've learned on it. And we were able to hammer out the issue because I have a relationship with the architect. If I don't have the relationship with the architect, be careful with those Swedish doors. I'm sorry I'm missing this one. Drywall paint contractor here that does multifamily. Very cool. So you're in the multifamily, so that's still, I consider that residential, right? But more on the multi, obviously. Talk to the architect, give him gifts, visit him, especially on time. I think it's gone both ways, to be honest with you. We have accommodated them, and they've accommodated us. So in our relationship, we're not hiring the architect. The architect is hired by the client, and the client brings us together. So it's interesting how that works. So we're in the same boat, but the architect is there to protect the client. So we like to have as much of a relationship with them as possible. I just graduated with a Bachelor in Engineering and Civil Engineering. What? And you're just killed after the what. I'm currently 3 years getting my bachelor. Oh, is going to get my master's worth it? Is my master's worth it? Master's? Are you planning on teaching? Master's seems to be the path if you want to be a professor. If you want to be in the office and doing it that way, master's is great. It's good for obviously growing in the office. If you're trying to be in the field, no, the master's doesn't work. I personally, now as I'm getting older, becoming a teacher, I've had a few universities asking me to teach for them, and they are requiring a master's degree. And I'm thinking, do I want to? All right, advice on graduates. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that all day, and I'll hold right here because this is a life safety. It's a great one to learn. Most people don't understand it, but you can see the red and the blue. But give me a second. I want to talk to you. Work for a general contractor. Yes, I'm a senior project manager. I am a general contractor. I was self-performing, and then I made my way over to work for someone else. I felt like as I was getting more mature, let's call that's the word, mature, I'll review it as opposed to old or getting older. And I decided it was better for me just to work for someone else and let them deal with the headaches. The headaches, unfortunately, make you a lot of money, so you have to do that way out. Master's useful for structural? Yes, master's is. If you're an engineer and you want to be at the top of your game, having a master's shows that you've got a lot of critical thinking in your head. You're good at what you do, and it makes a lot of sense. Am I telling you that it's mandatory? No, 100%. It's definitely not mandatory for you to do that. You can get a lot, but I think your peers tend to like it, and it makes you feel good that you have a master's. If you have the money, do it. If you don't, you're just going to strap yourself. I miss the GC world. I'm an electrical project manager now. Yeah, I have friends in all those little spaces, but I will tell you, being a PM or senior PM for a GC, our purview is everything, right? We're supposed to take care of everyone in this space. It's not just talking to the carpenter. We have to talk to the HVAC. We have to talk to the electrical. We have to talk to the plumbing. Another one I like, and I see it popping up, civil site land. I love the land development. That is probably, if I was ever going to open up a construction company again, that's the direction I would go. The money is massive there. If you get in with a good general engineering team who knows what they're doing, sky's the limit. But it's feast or famine, because when construction is going and developments are running really well, you're doing really well. When it gets slow, you better be doing government work to make sure you're taking care of your team. Moving guest and general contract. Very cool. Where are you out of? Hey, mama. I'm going to do both commercial, first pay for the residential. Yeah, I would agree. What are the top three trades that make the most money? Out the gate, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I have seen electricians and plumbers do extremely well, but I have also seen HVAC do just as well. It depends on what you're trying to do. Are you in maintenance or new builds? Maintenance is high, high, high. Those techs make a ton of money. Plumbers, ton of money. You got to get in with the right team and a owner who respects his men or women, whomever it is. I've worked with both, and it's just been fantastic. So to answer your question, do you sub out all your work? Yeah, we do actually. I personally was a self-performer, and we had everyone under me, but as I went to this GC, they sub it out. So we have APMs, PMs, field engineers, estimators in our arsenal, in our office, or offices. We have 8, and we basically can civil engineer, open trade business. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. An engineer can. An engineer can also get a contractor's license. So you have a few ways. Me too. I'm not swinging any hammers. Yeah, that was my thing. Get your deal worth. I was swinging hammers my whole life, or at least the first half of my life, and it wears on you. And I try to explain that I have a video at the top of my page with Johnny, who's one of my superintendents who I love, and he and I talk about it. And he's like, I will never be a PM, and I get it. So which is your main tool for design? I don't design. The architects design, and we take it in. We use a lot of Bluebeam. So a Bluebeam allows us a lot of opportunity to do a lot of overlays, do separations, verify different things. So it worked out really well for us. Are you looking for any architects to do work with? My mom is one. No, but I don't know where you're located, but down here in South Florida, we have so many architectural firms, like New York, like New Jersey. The big cities have it all. Miami, heavy. If you're in those areas, you could definitely find your way, which really helps out a lot. Bluebeam is golden for all disciplines. Yeah, I would agree. I enjoy it. It's fun to me too. What steps and advice do you give for a person that's trying to become a superintendent? Learn blueprints, 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 blueprints. I'm telling you, and then get your hands in the field with other superintendents or work with the general contractor. Start, if you're at the very bottom, start as an intern, start as a laborer, sweep the floors, go to someone and ask. I had a kid who reached out to me, DM'd me. Listen, if anyone has any questions, they really want to get deep into it. Different areas using different techniques. North MS here. Cool. Welcome. I'm telling you, he was like, I'm about to intern somewhere and I want to learn everything, but I'm really scared. I said, what's the worst that someone's going to do? Tell you no? If you're intern and you say, hey, I really want to go out in the field, I want to learn in the office. And he wrote me back about 3 weeks, 3 months, somewhere in there, and said, thank you so much. And I'm not trying to kudos me at all, believe me. I'm just trying to tell you that by telling him to go out there and speak to them, they were willing to give him that opportunity just because he was hungry. He wanted to learn. It's just like sitting here, like you watch these guys on YouTube, girls on YouTube, who crank it every day, probably the wrong word, who grind every day on video, and it makes sense the more you do it. What are some good companies here in Southwest Florida to intern for CM? Southwest Florida. So you on Naples side? Tampa? And you have no name. Just a dash. Got it. I'll call you Dash. How do you find wood backing on? I'm currently en route to become a PM. What are your views on it? What's your job title? I'm a senior project manager. I hate saying it that way. It sounds like I'm being cocky, but I'm not. It's just you spend this much time in the world. If you're good at what you do, you get better at it. I was a GC prior, became a senior project manager. That's where I'm at this point. Naples. All right, cool. So we have an office that you could intern with. If you DM me in TikTok, and I'll throw your resume over to our HR department and get you in front of that team on the other side, and they'll talk to you. But you've got to make sure that whatever you guys are doing, guys and girls alike, I'm in no way saying one less than the other. Believe me, I work with both, and both are highly phenomenal in what they do. Probably sounds weird just to say that out loud. And would you recommend it as a career? For me, greatest career I ever did. I absolutely, to be sitting here on what, TikTok right now? It's insane. I'm teaching blueprints, right? I love this stuff. This stuff is amazing to me. This stuff is like the lifeblood of what I like to do. But I like to teach. I like you guys to learn. Oh my God, I've been sitting here rambling. I could do this for hours, right? Harder? Harder. I'm currently at MTSU construction program. Will finish in a year. Great. Will these be available afterwards? Yes. Millwork estimator here in Chicago. Welcome, Ron. Nice to see you. How do you outsource your clients? How do you outsource your clients? We don't outsource. They come to us. They had to make a lane for girls in India, male dominated. Yes. And I'm glad they did. I could give you a few things that some people may say is sexist, but I find that many on both sides, women tend to be really particular and articulate in and it really works out well because in this field, you need someone who really is looking into the minutiae. Sometimes the guy's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll get it done. But I have learned that it really isn't a guy or girl thing. It really has to do with the person themselves. It has nothing to do with the male or female. And that's what drives me nuts to think that for so many years in so many areas of the country that they weren't giving the opportunity. So if you're not getting the opportunity where you are, go find another place to get that opportunity. That's my 2 cents there. How can I learn blueprint from scratch? I'm based in Canada. I'm an electrician, just had to stop by real quick. Well, Leonardo, thank you. Appreciate it. Stopping by. Are you going to go scroll somewhere? Just going to do the doom scroll? Because we all seem to do it at times. I have a professional engineer license exam this week. Wish me luck. Luck, bro. Absolute, Cody. Without a doubt, luck. Study, read, and F going out at night right now, study. Try to find as many example exams as you can and study. That's all I can tell you. They had to make a lane. Oh, we got that already. How can I learn blueprint? So this class, go to my website if you're interested. I do teach a class, and it's also going to be releasing a class it's a self-paced class, and it will be good. I'm glad you're prepared. I remember taking my exams, especially with my GC license. That was a weight, that was heavy, but it felt amazing when it was done. I'd like to hear, hit me up when you pass. How's that? Since you're a senior PM, how's your stress day to day? Have you seen some of my videos? Stress depends on who you are and how you deal with stress. Stress can be incredibly overwhelming, and stress at the same time can be a source of power. You have to be able to figure out how you deal with it. Working out, running, walking, venting, all those things help. Is the website on your bio? Is my bio on the website? Yes, it's in the About, ABOUT. You can check it out there, jbwolf.com. I'd rather use PlanSwift. I've never heard of PlanSwift or OST. What is the possibility of transitioning from business project manager to construct? Very easy, Eddie. Honestly, the only thing you need, hang on, I'm going to get to you. God, you guys are throwing the crap out there. The only thing you need is to have the hands-on experience. If you were going to go from business management and want to swap over, we have someone in our office who's an APM right now who did just that. Came from the business side and wanted to go into construction. Because you have a managerial headspace already, you can move over. The problem, it's not a problem, but now the step is for you to learn the construction industry, hands-on or site-on, or basically on-site as an intern. Those are key. Now, the problem with that is, do you have the money or the ability financially to go to an intern's position or a paid intern position, which I'm really not sure what they pay, but you see what I mean? So you're having to make sure of that balance. But if that's what you want, I would just do it if that's what really you feel the pull. What is the, sorry, got that? Can you explain what the superintendent does and what you think makes a good super? Superintendent oversees the job site. We have good superintendents and we have crappy superintendents. A good superintendent is someone who basically gets into the minutia of the project. He pulls that set of plans out every morning or before he starts the project and goes through it from head to toe and understands it. I've had other supers who suck, who basically come into the job site and go, well, I'm just going to make sure the water gets into the water hopper and the toilets get cleaned and the site looks clean because the subcontractors are supposed to know what they're doing. And he goes and sits and watches YouTube in his shed for the entire time. Drives me up a flippin' wall. If that's the case, don't do it. I mean, it's not worth it. I want to make sure. Can you explain what a supervisor is? So what he does is he's on the job site and he makes sure everything works. He's supposed to understand and learn, if he hasn't yet, what every super or every subcontractor or trade partner does on that job site. And as you become further and further along, like some of my older supers, they know, I don't want to say everything, because not everyone knows everything, but they can basically walk up to the power and understand what he's doing, walk up to HVAC and understand what he's doing, walk up to lighting, plumbing, and pretty much gives everything that understand. I love how you are making emergency egress evacuation plan for a firehouse. Very iconic. Never thought about that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's true. But every space has to have an egress, right? Not a bunch of guys who are sleeping in the middle of the night. I mean, if you think about it, this is downstairs, and they're bedrooms, right? Sorry, it's upstairs. These are their bedrooms. If anyone knows, what am I looking at? This is good. So this is a firehouse being built in Naples, and we were just talking about the fire egress for this space. You can see the stairs going down, and they had to put these stairs here, obviously, to make sure that they had egress in and out of this space. They have an egress down the front. But if anyone knows firemen they do like Kelly days. They work at the firehouse for 3 days on and then 3 days off. Yes, the job market is insane down here right now. It's hot. I am asked to jump to another job almost, no kidding, at least 4 times a week. So I won't go. I'm happy where I'm at. Things look like a lot at once. Yeah, right? I know. And I think sometimes people get overwhelmed when they look at something like this and they go, I can't do this. I don't understand it. You can, and it's not that hard. It just takes time to do that. So if you then try to focus on a specific area, everything starts to make sense. This is a fire alarm. So that's a horn. I forget the LF, what it stands for, but I am absolutely sure we can find out fairly quickly. Usually it's sitting somewhere over here on my legend. Second floor legend. That's first floor legend. LF. Anyone know what LF is? I forgot. Looks like I'm construction management graduate. Are any certifications that you recommend? No. I did building surveys for asbestos. This takes me back, I bet. If you're a construction management graduate, that means you went and did your 4 years. No, I do not in any way. It's my own personal opinion. This is what I'll tell you. There's no reason for a PMP. There's no reason for a PM outside of what you've got. You've got something that a lot of people would love to have. What you do need is your hands-on knowledge. You've got to get into a general contractor and start learning it from the ground up. Where's the rumpus room? Yeah, no comment there. I'm going to assume it's probably their day room where they sit and they watch videos. That's probably about it. I'm not getting into the rumpus room with these boys or girls and who's and who. Just a side note, there used to be, I don't know if you ever saw an old firehouse, but all the bunks were all together. They had like 6 or 7 to 10, 20 in one room. Obviously, as things have changed over the years, they've now turned it into private bunks, and it's allowed people to live a little bit differently. And I suggest since I'm learning the trades work better. I'm a project engineer trying to be a PM. Good for you. 00, 008-376. Yes, it's that same exact thing. Get with a contractor or get with a construction company and start learning. If you have friends, ask them. You already have the upper hand. SUS 1090. Yeah, I would agree. Where are you? Is SUS with the degree? I missed it. What do you think about a GC license and associate degree in business? I think a GC license is fantastic. An associate is great. Eric, if you have the associates, awesome. You got to get the hands-on experience to go along with it. Obviously, it sounds like I'm a broken record, but that's the preach I preach. If you don't have the on-hands experience, hands-on experience, you're not. They're going to look at you and go, "Okay, cool. You have a degree, fantastic. You've got a brain and intellect. Now, can you translate that to the field and help those in the field and learn and teach and do all of those things?" Obviously, the reason I teach is because I've learned so much of it. And now I'm trying to help those out there who need information. Did I answer all the questions? God, you guys are asking. Is there any mechanical electrical prints on there? If so, have you gone over them? No, I have not. That's ... again. I have not. I probably won't, only because I've already burned. I have 8 years of experience. I'm thinking about going to college. What degree do you recommend? Vidal, 8 years of experience is fantastic. If you want to go back to college, and that's really something, if that's really something, thanks, Eric, I appreciate it. If that's really something you want to do, and go back to college, and I get it, because sometimes you've spent the time in the field, and you're like, F this, I've done enough field work, I want to be represented better. If it's in construction, Vidal, is it in construction? That's the part I need to know. At least some real estate, become a realtor. Learn real estate. That's what you will be building. Right, exactly. Same exact point. That's so true. I'm going to call you Dilworth because you've been sitting here the whole time, and I appreciate you hanging out. But that's exactly the whole point. If you're trying to focus on a specific area of the world, whether it's a lawyer, you want to do law, so you have to learn law, right? And then you have to, if you want to be a criminal attorney, you got to go sit in a, no, I wouldn't say a jury, but in a courthouse and listen to what's going on. That's what they'll recommend. Go sit, go listen. It's not what it looks like on TV. The reality is what's happening in the courthouse. Those are real. Yes, sir. Okay, construction. So you've done construction. You've put your hands on. So now you've got that. Can you do part-time construction, or can you do full-time schooling? If you can do full-time schooling, go get a construction management degree. That would be my tell you. If you have the ability to do that and you have the funds to do that and you're at that point, go get your degree. That's as simple as that. If you don't have the funds and you don't have the money to do that, you don't need to go to college to become a superintendent, a project manager, or anything in the construction industry. But it does pave the way easier for you with an education, because the contractors tend to look at you and go, oh, you have an education, that's cool, which makes sense, right? It makes sense if you have that ability and you've got the critical thinking, which is your education, and then you've got the hands-on experience. The two together become married, and just you are a force to be reckoned with. How's that? That's probably the best thing I can say to you. God, I could talk all day. I currently work on a horizontal construction. Dirt, yep. How is the transition to vertical? Not a problem. I think if you're working horizontal, which basically is in the dirt, if you want to get into something, what's the worst you could do is put your resume out there and start asking what you can do or what they will do. You guys limit yourselves, you guys and girls limit yourselves on what you can do because you don't believe you know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, fine. Take the time to learn how to do blueprints. That gives you that leg up. Take the time to learn about project management, leg up. Those are the things that give you a better understanding of how to move forward. It's that simple. The problem is we get stuck in our own way. We get stuck in our own fear of someone not accepting us. Mechanical PE. Welcome. M&E in cola. Is that like in Pensacola? Or is that you just like cola? I did it. It was not easy, but not impossible. Ken, what did you do? Tell me, Ken. I want to hear. Without a degree, may I know, are able to get management positions for subcontractors harder for GC? Without a degree, okay. Many I know are able to get management positions for subcontractors harder for GC. I think you're saying that it was easier to get into the subfield, but harder to get into the GC field. I think without a degree, you went into the subcontractor world and you were working through there. I think your knowledge, if you get to be you grow in the knowledge in the subfield, you should be able to watch what's going on and you start talking to all the other guys and then you learn the blueprints and then you learn how to see everything through the eyes of the GC or a superintendent. They'll give you a chance. They'll put you as a G1 or a Gen 1, which is basically the beginner of a superintendent. And then there's 2, 3, unless it's the other way around. I always confuse that. Did you already talk through the drawing on the screen? What's the lesson? So talking about so much, I've missed so many. Yes, I've been a general contractor and yes, licensed dig and built anything February. Cool. Just, it's great to hear, Dilworth. I love hearing it. I really do. Same here. This is more general construction than electric. Yes, it is. But I haven't even gotten there because I've been asked so many questions and I got sidetracked. I think what I need to do is have one class which is talking about construction and then one class to answer a ton of questions because you guys and girls are full of flippin' questions and I appreciate it because it definitely makes a big difference to have someone who's been here who can answer those questions for you because it makes a big difference if you can at least reach out. Like I've said, this is life safety. Yes, Trey Breezy. This is life safety. So if I was going to, let's see if I can talk about this for a half a second because I've lost my pace. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. So this sounds like one of my videos. The red is the travel distance. We're going to dig into this for a second. Maximum travel distance. Common path of travel is in blue. So what they're trying to tell you is there's 2 different paths that you can take. And here you go. Denotes smoke partitions. So the small blues on the top, you can see that top one in the middle. Then that, I guess it would be more purple. So let's call it a purple. The middle one denotes 30-minute fire-rated construction. And then the red denotes 1 hour. Now, obviously, the 1 hour is the most critical, right? Because you're trying to make sure you're safe or they're building for safety. So there's your point. The fire, take a look at this. The firewell, this stairwell right here, has the 1 hour rating. Now, why would you think that? Because fire can make its way right up this firewall. Sorry, this stairwell. So they want to make sure this first bunk, see, you don't see my cursor, pisses me off. I got to get this fixed. The bunk 1, as you're looking at it, and has the red line going through it, that's showing it's a 1 hour rating. The door, that door is also considered part of that 1 hour rating, and I will assume and bet you that this door here is also a 1 hour rating. So why do they do that? Because they want to make sure any fire that's coming from the first floor, this has enough time for them to get out of, meaning anyone in each of these bunks has a way of getting out. The blue, remember the blue line? I'm going to really focus in on this. You can see it. This blue line shows that arrow going this way. That's normal path of travel. In an emergency, they're telling you this is your way out by the red one going down. Again, this is a chase. This is a fire chase. Most likely a mechanical chase, this red. And this is a 1 hour rating in here. It's red, right? We talked about it before. I'm echoing? Oh, shit. Serious? Is it still echoing? Yes, we're reviewing fire plans. Let me know if we're still echoing. No? Okay, thanks, Rose. So let's pull back out here. As you can see, all of the bunks outside of that first one are, yes, it was hard, but I cried on the ground in my driveway when I got my GC license. Safety number 1. Who is that? Dilworth? I'll tell you, I have got to be honest, I came close to doing exactly the same thing. The amount of effort it takes to get through that test feels insurmountable at times. And I'm sure you're nodding your head. Oh, remember those days. Let's pull back here. So we're going to go back here. So like we talked about, blue, remember, denotes 30-minute fire rating. Red denotes 1 hour rating, and then smoke partition. So let's find where there's smoke. That 1 hour? That's the half hour. Where's my smoke? I don't see it. Oh, that's where it is. So they're putting a smoke here. So they're stopping the smoke from getting into this space, and then this is the mechanical chase. So this is, oh, my screen just went total glitch. There you go. The chase, the reason they do the 1 hour rating in here is because it's exposed to the first floor. The first floor is obviously where fire potentially could arise from. So it comes up through the chase, and now they want to try and protect the occupants on this second floor while doing it. The reason I'm going through this, construction management student working through my first internship, your videos are amazing. Thank you, appreciate it, Austin. You saying my first internship is absolutely phenomenal. I've been preaching it all morning. Go get an internship. Do not hesitate. It's how you become a good PM, superintendent, whatever you plan on being in the construction industry, do that. I feel like I'll preach that till the day I die. I don't plan on dying anytime soon, but you know. All right, you're amazing. Welcome to our world of construction. Yeah, couldn't agree more, Billworth. Let's see. So path of travel here. Hello, can I get an internship? Smart technology. So here is the common path of travel. The emergency path of travel would be the red, right? And I'll pull it back again. Maximum travel distance. So instead, the reason they do this is let's go through a scenario. There's a fire at this staircase. We're going to point this staircase out because, man, I'm getting hungry. Anyone else hungry? You've got this staircase right here. Let's say the fire is downstairs and it's coming up this way. Now, you don't have too many choices at that point, right? You've got to get out of this building. The benefit is you can head out this one here, but they expect you to go this way, down this, sorry, can't see what I'm doing. I wonder if I can mark it up on here. I think I can mark it up. All right, I'm going to do this for 1 second because I want to see if I can do it. Mark up. Let's try this. Let's see if it works. This, no. This, no. I feel like a dope, but give me a second. Let's try it. Oh, look at that, in white. Let's try that again. What color do we want? Blue? Yeah, blue. Let's try that. Blue, go away. Go away. This, there you go. Can you see that? I'm waiting. Someone's got to tell me. Can you see the blue circle I just made? Yes. All right. Thank you, BH. Appreciate it. Do the stairwells have dedicated smoke evac fans? It does not show them to be. I don't see them. They're not showing any mechanical ventilation, but we're not at mechanical, right? Now, this is an exterior one, so there would be none there. This is only a first floor. Actually, that actually works out really well. I can just leave the circle there, and I can fall into that. This one has nothing here as well. I think if I made that into a square, that would make it a lot easier, right? Let's see, shape, square. We're going to talk about that. Oh, don't tell me it's going to, let's do that. Huh? No. Oh, you suck. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're going to try one more thing. Shape, arrow. So this will be my cursor for today, at least for the rest of the day. So there's nothing in here that would show you, where am I? Oh, Austin Williams, you're talking Smart Tech, you're talking to. Smart Tech contractors, also career fairs helped a lot. Yes, that's true. The career fairs are great places to get your foot in the door. So this does not have any mechanical venting. So let's move on. Jeez, It's almost 12. All right, we're going to cap it at 12. I'll set up another date, and I'll start following that date. Now, this is the first floor. As you can still tell, this is the stairwell going down. Apparatus, bay, meaning this is, oh, well, if anyone's ever seen this, there's where the engines sit, fire engines. This is your fire slide pole. There's your pole. Actually, I got to move that up slightly. There's your pole. And that, so let's take a look for half a second. I'm going to be a little childlike. That is it from the second floor. If we want to verify it, firefighter slide pole, 1 hour fire rated slab enclosure. Interesting. Pretty cool to think about if you think about that. So you're looking at a fire station. Let's take a look. All right, we've done enough fire. I've been yapping away. So this is a site plan. This will show you what's happening around the building. So you start to look at the lift station. This is for removing your sanitary. That's a lift station. Obviously, it's low in the area and has to be pushed out, existing communication. These are great when you want to get an idea of what's happening around the space in general. Same thing here. We'll probably talk about topographic areas, but then we'll talk about A101, point to begin civil drawings. So they're working within this line. So that line right there is basically stating we're going to talk anything civil is inside the space, not outside the space. And that's why they'll refer to it that way. But you can have a connection through your company and it will be highly appreciated. Let's see. Any other questions? Literally got my IRC last year working on my IBC now. What are the odds it would TT would recommend this? Yeah, I would agree. So let's see. TikTok. Yeah, I guess TikTok is recommending this to some people. Did it say, hey, by the way, this is alive? I will tell you, yeah, I'm sure they listen to us on our TikToks. Even their phones listen to us. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, would you? Everything listens to us these days. So yeah, I wouldn't expect it any other way. Let's take a look at this. What are we looking at? That's just the bollards. That's boring. That's fencing. Elevations. I'm going to talk about one last thing here. Scary LOL on my FYP. Yeah. Will you be posting these on YouTube? Yes, I will. I'm going to take this entire thing and just load it right up. I'm not even going to cut it up. Well, I'll probably cut it up into a few so you can fast forward through it. But I think this would be a great one for everyone to learn a bit more about. The problem is me yapping for 30 minutes can be annoying at times. But you know, everyone asks the question, so I want to be here. Do you Bluebeam video? Do a Bluebeam video next? Yeah, actually, I will write that down because I was talking about that Bluebeam. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and simulcast on TikTok and YouTube on the next one so we can talk further about it. Check out the website, jbwolf.com. There's a lot of information on there. There's a lot of bouts. There's a lot of free downloadables. Also, the book, if you want to be a PM, it's a free book. It's on Amazon for $17.89. It's free through here. Click. It's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You just go into the bio and click and download it. It's a great, I'm glad I came and definitely following you. Very cool. Thanks. Appreciate it, Dilworth. Yeah, if anyone has someone in the industry or wants to be in the industry, I would definitely share this video just to talk about it. Just the more people who get it. Does everyone understand how a section works? I'm going to talk about this. It's going to be the last thing, and then I'm going to roll off here. It's been a while. When you see a section, this is called a section symbol. And what it is it's basically a cut line. This cut line, as you can see, starts here. Well, let's see if I can put it into the cursor. This one right here. So let's scroll up, and it comes across, and it's going to be a landing spot on the other side. And they did it. There it is, A1 305. So what they're going to do is you're going to take that cut line. This cut line, no, sorry, I got to do it this way. This line is what if you would consider a knife. And they took a piece of pie. They took a knife, they cut the building in half. And now we're going to go look at A1, A305. And you're going to be looking at it in this, to the right. So if I'm at A101, I'm going to go to 305. Bear with me, I don't want to make anyone dizzy because it gets annoying when you watch someone scroll. Head to 305. I could hit the page down, but it tends to skip it. Gosh, there are so many architectural plans to this one. 304, 305. There you go. So this is it. Now you're looking at it in a totally different view. You're looking at it as though you cut the building in half, and now you're looking at it from one side towards the other. Why do they do that? One of the main reasons is in order, right, a 3D sectional plane, right, flat plane. So this is the flat plane you're looking at. And what it does is it allows the builder, the electrician, the HVAC, to get an idea of what is happening within the building for those areas like this roof truss system. You couldn't see this had we just looked at it from above or as a truss, unless you looked at the truss section. But this cross section allows you to look at what's happening here. On top of it, it then gives you, come on, you can make your way. It gives you sections. Get away. There you go. And it'll talk about this joint right here, this section J7551. And now you're going to look at this and go, what the frick? How is this working? So to make this, we're building a house, or what were we doing? This is a fire station. So this is a fire station that was built, and we're just talking through a set of plans. So let's go to J7, Understanding Construction Drawings. Thanks, Lurple. It's actually a cute name. I didn't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. J7, A551. So let's go to A551. So let's see. Remember, we're looking at that sections. If you can remember what we were looking at. A510. And this is what cross-referencing is all about. Is it 551? Right? Yeah, this is deep. Past it. 1, 2. There, coming up. J, right? Was it J? Yeah. J. Oh, there you go. And it was a J. Where's J? There it is, J. Now, here's something that annoys me. If you remember the way the slope was on the other one, it was going the other direction. Very good. Cool to hear, Dimitri. Hi, this is being recorded and will be posted for future reference. Yes, I'm going to post it on YouTube on my same page, jbwolf.pm. Yeah, it's jbwolf.pm. So this, as you can see it right here, was facing the other direction. So that really pisses me off. I don't like when architects do that because it confuses the reader, especially someone who doesn't understand. And here's the reason why they created this section. Look at the break metal. So the roof has an awkward roof line. It comes down, and then it hits this point, and it's not 90, it's not 30, it's not 20, it's whatever it is. And now they've got to make sure that they have a water runoff. Now this top part that I'm pointing at right now is a standing seam. So it's a metal roof, right? That metal roof, if it was to land into this trough area, would just basically spill under and start damaging the beneath it. To build something, you need to be a proficient in all disciplines. Couldn't agree more, Ben. Couldn't agree more. Oh my God, I do this for the irrigation designs. Yeah, cool. So here, let's take a look. We're going to get deep into this one. This, I'm going to try and get my arrow right on it. This piece of metal is a piece of brake metal. And this goes underneath. See how far it goes? And it keeps going. And it goes all the way to this point. Why is that? It has almost a 12-inch span from... No, I didn't want to do that. It took my... You guys suck. See if it'll do that. No. I don't have a cursor, so I'm having to do this, which is quite annoying, to be very honest with you all. All right, we're just going to leave it there. So this space from here to here is about 12 inches. So they do that so water doesn't have the ability to run back up once it drips off. Now you see this is called a drip edge. So it has this drip, and that turn right there is done on purpose to allow water to drip down and off. If I go to what it's calling for, let's go over here. There you go. Field notch, 1-inch min, and hem under. The hem under is to make sure the water drips off of it. It's a drip edge. It's just like on your home. That drip edge allows water to drip off and keep running. So let's keep talking about it. So now it hits that piece of metal, the water is running down, and now it lands into the next, the standing metal seam. Now they call this a Z, take a look at this. I'll show you one last thing. Z closure with continuous bead of caulking. So they put a Z in there to make sure that it holds in place. That piece of metal that we just talked about is now held in place by a Z-clip. That Z-clip is then nailed down right there. And this standing seam goes further under. Again, that water drip gets under there and around. It's just one of those things that is great to learn. It's one of those things we could go, it could take years to go page by page at the pace that I'm going. Obviously, you guys don't want to do that. Funny thing is production builders give us 7 days to frame a house and want it perfect. Yeah, that's the downside to residential construction these days. Their margin is so small, when I say margin, that from what it's cost to build to what it costs to sell, unless you're down here in Florida, where you're building it for $400,000 and they're selling it for $6 million, which is nuts. I'm obviously exaggerating, but that's the point. Just became a roof estimator struggling to understand these. Thanks for this. Yeah, no doubt. If you have any questions Saturday, hit me up on the DMs and I'll explain a little further if you want, and I can set up one of these where I carve out a half hour to talk about one thing. So add a random hole for them to dig. This is helpful. I hope it is. Just starting out construction sales and lumber yard and trying to learn how to read plans. Cool. Good place to learn is the lumber yard, but if I was going to say son or daughter, see if you can get a job on a construction site. It's a little harder, a little dustier, a little dirtier, but you will get your hands into a space that will give you the opportunity to grow and go further up. That's one of those things that I continuously try to explain, that having that hands-on experience is insurmountable. You can't beat it. And I absolutely will tell everyone that same story. If you can afford to go to school, college, and get that degree and then go off into the world, great, awesome, good for you. If you're going to do that, go into, at least while you're in college, do interning first year, second year, third year, fourth year. It shows. Instead of you screwing off and going to the beach, if you really want a career that pays off, start interning those summers or those weekends. Make that happen. Do you upload these lives anywhere? I'd love to get through them later. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. Where are you located in Florida? Just finished a job in Daytona. Very cool, Lurple. I am in South Florida, so I run from Broward to Palm Beach and Stewart. So that's pretty much my area. We have a few PMs in the office. We have one other senior PM. He runs the south end of the world. I run the north end of the world. And then we have a bunch of PMs that do their thing as well as APMs. Drop these in front of GHR super, and he wouldn't know left, right. Yeah, I would agree. A lot of these guys don't, and they get paid a crap ton of money, and yeah, it is what it is. Push a broom like a lot of us. Listen, Mike, I couldn't agree more, but you can definitely learn your way up from that pushing a broom to becoming a superintendent. I'm telling you, I've seen it done. I know guys who do it, and it's just one of those things that I would. Working with Whiting and Turner, have you ever? Of course, Turner. We've worked with Whiting and Turner quite a few times. They're a good, big monster team. Working with it. Yep. Is this MG2? MG2. Sorry, Danny. Don't know what MG2 is. My bad. If you let me know, I can potentially tell you. Just started doing drywall and cold metal framing, estimating at 19. Any advice? Yeah. Learn everything while you're on job sites. Talk to all the other supers, all the other trades. Try to look, try to listen, try to learn, watch the plumbers. If you get a chance to walk away and walk over to a plumber, or at the beginning of the job before your job starts, or at the end of the job, at the end of the day, if you're allowed to, like you're not taking a ride from anyone, but you want to be able to learn, ask questions, bro. I'm telling you, ask questions. What's the worst? You get the old guys that go, shut up and leave me alone. Most of them don't do that. Most of them want to teach. We got 2 Amazon warehouses. Yeah, so do we, with one of them in Cleveland, Texas, and one in Tyler, Texas. It's funny, we're doing one in Orlando, and I think one in Texas. So yeah, they're growing. Insane. Yep, worked as labor for 5 years. Good for you, HT. 2-year foreman, and then became a superintendent. HT, that is awesome. Love hearing it. That's the point. I need more people like you to preach. I'm working as an assistant superintendent. How long do you think it should take to become a assistant? I'm assuming you mean go to becoming a promotion. Got it. Get a promotion, right? I think that's true. Or PM. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. You can absolutely become a PM. You're just, if you want to transition from the field to the office, I would highly speak to your boss or owner, or I wouldn't go to the next one up. I would go further up the chain, because the older guys or the people that own the business, they're the ones that want to grow from within. They don't want to hire out. So if you can get someone on the inside who wants to be better, do better, and work better with the team, then they're going to want to bring you up from the inside. I would speak to them and say, this is what I want to do. This is my plan. Can you help me get there? Can you tell me what I should do? If they give a crap about you in any way, shape, or form, they're going to give you some direction. If they don't, and they basically just push you to the side, it's because they don't want to lose you where you're at. They don't want to have to train a new superintendent. If that's the case, I could tell you a few things I would do, but I'm not telling you what to do, but I am saying that's probably the reason they don't want to move you to a PM, unless there are no PM positions. At that point, maybe it's time to look elsewhere. Female, been talking for 2 hours. Female senior PM here. Hey, welcome, Nicole. Glad to have you here. Nice. How long you been in the industry? I'm a drywall hanger. What's my first step to becoming a super? Start talking to everyone else. 10 years. Very cool. 3 months project engineer here. Nice, Sess. Hey, Nicole, did you work in the field as a intern at any point? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. If you don't want to answer, I get it. You just don't have to answer, and I'll just move on. There's no worries. I'm trying not to squeeze anyone unless you're sitting there typing. I was an intern. Very cool, Seth. 3 months project engineer. Followed my experience. Trying to think. 25 years in construction, have done almost everything. Yeah, sounds about the same. Bad days. Pretty much the same idea. I've worked every angle. Working for a promotion at the end of the year. Any advice? Work harder. No, kidding. You've got to stand out. And the problem with standing out is that sometimes when you stand out, you get your fingers crushed or you get slapped because you're trying to do a better job or a harder job or something more. It's the only way to get that promotion. I don't want to just say, do what you're told, sit at your desk, don't try anything different. That doesn't get you noticed. Asking questions, getting out there and speaking to the PMs, getting out there and speaking to the Gen Super, at the top, and saying, hey, how can I be better at this? Or what would work better here? I'm telling you, we all notice it. I can tell you, anyone working in my office, I know exactly where their heads are at. I know if they're trying to do better and if they're just coasting because they really don't give a crap. I can absolutely tell you, I know. I talk to all my PMs. I talk to my senior PM. I talk to the owner. I talk to the general regional director. I know everything that's going on, and unfortunately, they know what crap's going on in my life as well, just because we all talk, because we all like to talk. So if you can find a way to ask what would make you a better PM or superintendent, let them answer you. You're asking the person who's basically going to give you the promotion. If you get the answer from them and you do the things that they're saying, it's a no-brainer to be doing it. And you just have to be able to open your mouth. These shop drawings, no, they are not shop drawings. This is a full set of plans. Sorry, I got stuck on talking on different things, which I absolutely love doing, and you can tell I can talk all day. What's your basis of design manufacture when speccing SSMR? Why do I remember SSMR, but I can't, and that's okay. I think I asked to be switched to a field engineer. Wait, I'm missing. It's not telling me. I don't think I like being a project engineer. I think I wanted to ask the field engineer. Yeah, then ask. There's no reason not to. I would absolutely ask and find out what exactly they're looking to do or what you want to do and see if you can speak to those that are in the field and ask them what they do and how did you get from here to there or how do I get to there. It really comes down to you guys just saying, any masonry plans? Yeah, of course. I've been here for 2 hours and I'm still rambling away. Your roof deals show a standing seam. That's absolutely correct. Very good. It's a standing metal seam. It was brown in color. I scrolled away from it, so I'm not going to go back. This is block and wall. Actually, it's 214. Any advice to get any construction management role without a full degree? Yeah, TikToker, nice. I talked about that for about a half hour earlier. So this page will be on YouTube if anyone wants to. Is this Revit? No, it's not. This is just a standard PDF reader. I do use Revit. I do use Bluebeam. I like Bluebeam better just because it's easier for me because we're... Victor, good to see you again. Is this Revit? No, I already answered that. I'm going to kill it. I am talked out. I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, so I think my wife's going to kick my ass. We're supposed to go food shopping. Yes. I agree. I'm the one that told you, so my bad. Any last questions? Procore is the best. Yeah, I agree. That's where I live. That's for our projects. We live in Procore. I enjoy it more than any other. Offer got rescinded last Friday night afternoon. Any advice? Offer got rescinded. All right, Zeke. This is a tough one because I'm going to say you got to look within. If it got rescinded, there's got to be a reason. It's either one of two things, something outside in the world or something inside that they found out about you or something or a company. So you've got to find out what exactly it is. Those are the tough ones. Yeah, I don't want to even get into it. We're glad to see you again. Maybe I can make the next one. Yeah, definitely, Ryan. I definitely would like to have you make the next one. I'm going to be posting them. Be aware, I'll start posting on as part of the, letting everyone know what's going on for my TikToks. This post will be live on YouTube probably this afternoon. So if anyone has any questions and wants to listen, it's a lot more talking than it was. You can speed through it to find those areas when I talk about certain things you're talking about. Yeah, I'm going to look into it. They have no name, no information, and won't talk to me for a week. I would definitely reach out to them and say, if they're not talking to you, then there's something that they found out. I don't know what it is. And I apologize. I don't want that feeling coming out of my mouth, but it sucks when that happens. It's happened with us and our teams where one of the guys, but he told us, right, and fix it, how to make this active dig within. Right, and fix it. How do we make this active? I missed it, Billworth. Sorry, I don't understand. Say it again. Say it again. You mentioned doing these videos weekly. What days will you go live? I'm trying to figure it out. It really has to be during the week. I'm going to be exhausted. And maybe once on the weekend, on a Sunday like today, I think everyone's relaxed and can sit back and just do what they want to do and at the same time learn something. Anyone big on, oh yeah, with the rescinded contract. Yes, you're right, Dilworth. Anyone big on Sundays, like with Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons? I mean, give me a thumbs up or an FU or screw that crap. It's one of those things that I'm trying to get a feel for if it's better to do it on those thumbs up. All right, so one day on the weekend would be cool. I could assume that would be Sunday mornings is nice. This is my first time. I'll definitely watch more. Bro, Max, this is my first time. I've never done it on a Sunday, and it probably is easier. I'm going to probably just stay at my desk, and I am going to start banging out some of my work for the week because I don't want to worry about it on Monday. This is my first time, so very cool. Work backwards? Work backwards. Please play the song Loser by Alexander. Why don't you kill me? Who is here? Anything with HVAC and estimating people either? Give a follow. We'll be tuning in electrical perspective. Yeah, definitely. Sunday morning sounds good. Look forward to learning. Yeah, me too. I will love teaching. Go to the website, jbwolf.com. That's my name, and that's the website. There are a bunch of downloadables there. Is a free book there. Yes, free. It's on Amazon for $17.89. I'm telling you, it's sitting on Amazon right now. You can check it out. It's in the downloads. It's a free book for those who are interested in becoming a PM. It's simple. It's basic. There's some really cool golden nuggets in that are really great for those of you who are interested. I'm going to say, have a good one. It's been awesome doing this. We'll speak soon, and I'll be setting up for next week. Thanks.